I'm so glad we were able to meet for coffee.
Of course. The conference is so packed. I thought we'd never make it out of the lobby.
Anne is a software engineer working for a company with several federal contracts. She's meeting with Marina, a new foreign acquaintance who also works in software development.
You said you work in AI? I'm so jealous. I want to transition to that area.
I only just started. There's so much to learn.
Anne should have received a travel briefing before she came to the conference, which would have covered how foreign intelligence entities, or FIEs, target federal employees, contractors, and cleared academics to gain access to sensitive information. If she had, she might recognize Marina's tactics.
What did you need to learn to get into AI? I want to make sure I'm prepared.
The Defense Counterintelligence and Security Agency, or DCSA, receives thousands of reports of suspicious foreign contacts every year from federal employees and contractors. FIEs frequently use conferences, conventions, and trade shows to target and exploit insiders for sensitive information. They could be government representatives, employees from international corporations, or students and academics. Sometimes their goal is to steal specific technologies. From software and electronics to aeronautic systems, any area can be and is targeted. Other times, they're trying to collect classified information, or equally as common, unclassified information they can piece together to reveal sensitive details. Sometimes, they're trying to establish relationships they can exploit later. To better understand how FIEs target insiders, it's important to learn how they operate. Methods of operation are the distinct patterns or methods used by FIEs. FIEs frequently exploit whatever relationships they can build, including those with federal insiders, academic experts, or new or existing business relationships. FIEs use several well-known tactics, otherwise known as methods of contact, to establish contact with their target. If successful, these FIEs are positioned to achieve their intelligence objectives, otherwise known as methods of operation. Methods of contact include conferences, conventions and trade shows, visits to the target's facilities, online tools such as email, web forms, and social networking services, and other forms of personal contact. Anne hasn't been speaking to Marina for long. She doesn't realize that she is the target of a sophisticated operation that started the day before. As you've seen, Marina's method of operation is exploiting insider access. Her method of contact: conferences, conventions, and trade shows. FIEs use a recruitment cycle to develop relationships with trusted insiders and manage them carefully. First, in the spotting phase, FIEs carefully observe potential intelligence targets and watch for signs that an insider could be co-opted. Marina has already judged that Anne has access to useful information and is willing to talk about her career. Now, Marina is assessing Anne more carefully, learning as much about her as she can. When Marina learns that Anne supports government contracts, she decides Anne can be exploited. She will try to recruit Anne by suggesting they stay in contact after the conference, perhaps by using a motivator, such as money, ideology, or ego. Marina will then handle the relationship for as long as necessary, eliciting as many details from Anne as she can. When the relationship is no longer useful, Marina will quietly terminate the relationship and the cycle will start again with a new target. If Anne wants to avoid being exploited and protect national security, she'll need to recognize the tactics being used against her and report the encounter. Marina has been subtly controlling the direction of the conversation, asking probing questions about Anne's job and responsibilities. She asked Anne to maintain contact after the conference finished. Other common tactics include foreign agents impersonating expert attendees. offering gifts, favors, or special treatment, or even blatantly requesting classified, sensitive, or proprietary information. All federal employees, contractors, and cleared academics are required to report any suspicious contacts, whether in person or online, or other suspicious events to their organization's security officer or other person of contact. To learn more about what we can do to help protect against foreign intelligence efforts, visit www.cdse.edu. Protecting the American workforce and American technologies requires constant vigilance.